Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to Court TV. I'm Ted Rollins. Glad to start off another week with you. Robert Durst is back on the stand later today as his marathon trial continues. In North Dakota this morning, the state resumes its case in chief against 47-year-old chiropractor Chad Isaak with day 9 of testimony. And it has been a methodical build with evidence piling up against defendant Chad Isaak. This morning, we're expecting more investigator testimony followed by blood and fiber evidence. Court TV legal correspondent Shanley Painter is in North Dakota covering the trial for us and has more on what we can expect today. Shanley.
Hey, good morning, Ted. Here in Mandan, North Dakota, the prosecution keeps piling up the evidence that appears to link the defendant Chad Isaak to the quadruple murder that took place April 1st, 2019 here at RJR Maintenance and Management. On day 8 of the trial, several law enforcement officers took the stand to tell the jury and show the jury what they found in the home, the workplace, and the truck of Chad Isaak. In his home, in addition to those matching clothes found in the dryer that were seen on surveillance video at the crime scene, there was a knife found in the washer and gun parts found in the freezer. But on Friday, the jury learned about an odd-looking sock that investigators say was stuffed with shell casings, exactly 9 shell casings. The jury learned that there were 9 bullets in the victims at the crime scene. Also, a shoe print found at that crime scene is similar to a print from the shoes recovered from Chad Isaak's home.
These are the photographs of the shoes recovered, Isaac's shoes recovered from dryer.
And that's, again, referencing the folder that was on 867?
Correct.
These photographs themselves, did they play a part in your analysis in any way?
I looked at them in reference to the known shoes that I received and determined that these probably were the same shoes as the ATF Exhibit 12 that I had received.
Now, speaking of black tennis shoes, in Chad Isaak's chiropractic office, 16 pairs of the same black shoe, all the same size, brand new, were found by the investigators. And according to testimony, those shoes had the same features as what detectives observed on surveillance video at the crime scene. And finally, in Chad Isaak's truck, investigators found a business card from RJR Maintenance and Management with the name Robert Faulkner on that business card, maybe a tie to the crime here in this case. But also in his truck, they found orange fibers and blood. The jury has yet to hear the results of testing on that physical evidence, but that is to come in the case. We're expecting today, Ted, more BCI agents to take the stand, but also we're going to start hearing from those lab experts who analyze the physical evidence and the fibers and blood in this case. It's all coming up here. I'll send it back to you.
All right, our thanks to Shanley Painter. As Shanley mentioned, we don't know yet if all or some of the evidence actually links Isaak forensically to the murders, but some of it sure seems suspicious. Take a look at what investigators found in his wallet.
Was there anything of evidentiary value found within the wallet itself?
Yes, there is an RJR maintenance business card located inside that wallet.
Can we see that in the bottom right corner?
Yes, you can.
If we move to State's Exhibit 742, can we see that image more closely?
Yes, this is a closer-up photo of the contents that were recovered.
Was it just that there was an RJR business card that was present in Mr. Isaak's wallet that was of note to you?
No, on the back side of it, there was a handwritten name, Robert, written on it.
Did you take a photograph of that?
I did.
Can we see that in State's Exhibit 743?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you point that out to the jury, please?
Yes, on the top part of the card, it's the handwritten Robert with it underlined.
All right, our guest this morning, joining us, civil rights attorney and trial attorney Lee Hutton is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and former federal prosecutor and criminal defense attorney Deborah Barbier is in Columbia, South Carolina. Deborah, to you first. This case is picking up it's just stacking piece by piece against the defendant seemingly, and starting at the end of last week, it's getting compelling from the state's side. They have been methodical in the way they've brought this case, but Your overall take on where we are in terms of the state's case in chief and your evaluation of how it's going?
Well, I would agree with you. I think they are piling up a lot of circumstantial evidence. And I think circumstantial evidence from a prosecutor standpoint can be very compelling. I'm waiting to hear the forensic evidence because I think that will tell me how tight this case is. You know, the talk regarding motive is very crucial in my opinion. The prosecutors, even though their investigators said they don't have to prove a motive, and sometimes they don't have a motive, and sometimes people kill for fun. I think that's a problem for the prosecution. They're going to have to explain and put together for the jury why this man would do that with seemingly no criminal history, with seemingly no violent history. It's perplexing. And I think that's going to, all we need from the defense standpoint is reasonable doubt. And that can raise reasonable doubt. So I hope their forensic case is stronger than the circumstantial case, because what I've seen in the evidence they put forth so far is a lot of things that, like you said earlier, sound suspicious. Sound suspicious doesn't get it in a criminal courtroom. It's got to be things that actually point to the murderer beyond a reasonable doubt. So I think that although the case sounds strong circumstantially so far, I'm waiting on the forensic evidence to tell me whether or not this is really as well put together as it needs to be.
Yeah, as still waiting on more, and we're going to hopefully get that today, or at least in the early part of this week. You bring up motive, and that's a big part of it. The defense saying, listen, this guy's a chiropractor. He's got zero criminal record. He doesn't know these people. Yes, they managed his trailer park, but he had one interaction with them at one point, and that could explain why he had that business card in his wallet. On the other side, for the first time, the state used a witness, a seasoned investigator, to address motive on the witness stand last week. And boy, did he ever, saying that, yeah, maybe that guy over there just likes to do it for fun. Take a listen.
There's one other thing that I just want to briefly touch on. Given your training and experience in conducting homicide investigations, do you consider motive when investigating?
Yes.
Do you always find motive?
No, we don't always find motive. We like to know what the motive is, but we don't necessarily find the motive because some people just kill for fun, and it's then you never know what the motive is. You don't know what's going on in their mind, and some people just consider it a challenge. So, quite frankly, the motive would be that they just have fun doing it, and it's hard to prove that. And so sometimes we don't end up with a motive.
In this case, did you find a motive as to why the defendant murdered Robert, Bill, Lois, and Adam?
No.
Despite that, were you still confident that you had found the suspect?
Absolutely.